Welcome to day 2 of Align with Your Purpose. Please leave a message in the chat to say you're here. I can see people are entering. I don't know who they are. I cannot see you. You can see me, but I cannot see you. So please just leave a heart, a like, a hi, whatever you want to say in the chat. Hello, hi. Hi, Victoria. It's good to see you. Victoria is always first. She's such a wonderful human being. I'm so happy to see you. I hope you enjoyed yesterday. Yesterday was intense for me because it was my first live launch ever, first day, and I didn't know how it would be not being able to see my audience. I'm used to have meetings and not webinars. Also, I saw suddenly a black screen. Now I know if I see a black screen, I will just ask you, I will just tell you, and you will just chat and tell me that you can see me. So I don't know why this happened. It's from Facebook. It's got nothing to do with my settings. Hi, Gina. I can see you. Hi. It's good to see you. Thank you for keeping this alive. So a few people are entering. I just want to make an introduction to say that yesterday's session was a very general session, right? I gave you so much information, and yet I didn't give even half of the information that I give in my program, my regular program, right? Because I didn't even address all the topics that can be known. These wonderful things can be known that if we just realize that those things, we would be in awe at how much exists in terms of secret knowledge, mystical knowledge that is laws of nature in reality that we can use to our advantage and in order to help others. We can do so much just by knowing a few things about energy. Today is not a day to talk about energy. Tomorrow we're going to talk about energy, and that is going to help us with our lives, with our love life, with our business. I'm going to separate each day. We'll have a different topic. So tomorrow is going to be energy, and it's going to, I will tell you a few things about purification, how to purify your home, how to purify yourselves, how to go about raising your vibration, because we need everything, right? The first day, it is more about, it was about divine, about knowing oneself. We talked about how we can know ourselves. Today, we're going to go in the middle aspect, the love aspect, is knowing your purpose. So we're going to have a little meditation at the end that is going to be a visualization that you can do every day of your life if you want. Without that, my day is not, it's like I've wasted a little bit of help, that I can get for my life. That's how I feel if I don't do it. So I'm going to show you how to do this. But before that, our main topic today, we have one topic and that little visualization. We're going to be more simple. But today's topic is how to find your life's purpose through arithmosophy. And mainly, it is through your life path number. Of course, knowing your soul number and knowing what you become when you mature helps a lot. And of course, your destiny number. And of course, then there is esoteric arithmosophy that, I have this invention with proofs that prove the existence of name makers in the higher planes. And I have made an app. It's called Esoteric Arithmosophy Thoth, Thoth. And this app, I have, it's in the name of Master Marilag Mendoza, because she's my teacher and she has helped me immensely, encouraging me all the way, assuring me that this is a great invention, that this is worthwhile. And because I had done 9 years of research and I had not published it yet, I was so afraid of being wrong and giving something to the world that is wrong. But now it's even being confirmed by mathematicians, so it's fine. It's really accurate and it is amazing. And my book is going to come out soon, I hope. But if you want, you can get the app. My database is completely, I repeat, it's called Esoteric Arithmosophy Thought, Thoth. And my database is completely esoteric. I don't know. I did this years ago, and it was, I have to upgrade it. I have to put some more data like happy life, etc. Simple things. But this is an app. Well, I will talk about esoteric arithmosophy another time. But this is an app that is, if you know the symbols, it's full of constellations. The constellations mean tests in the Labors of Hercules. You can find the free PDF of Alice Bailey's Labors of Hercules in my Mystery School of Arithmosophy files, and you can see each labor has tests. You can enter in the search bar Orion, it will come up, and you will know what it means if it comes up in your app. Orion, like my life purpose is Orion, then you will know what it means if you go to the labors. All the constellations are tests and symbols related to the development, the growth of the soul. So now let's go to our topic of today. Our topic of today is our life path number. This very, very common life path number that numerology addresses. I hope I can give you a more in-depth interpretation of what the life path number means. Because, for example, let's go to a little workshop, First, the best thing to do is if you can add your birth date number, you add your birth date number and you will arrive at a single digit number. For example, if your birth date is the 10th of March of 1963, you add 1 plus 0 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 3. And you come up with a double digit usually. Now, if that double digit is a master number, people are coming in and they're not hearing this. Perhaps I should wait a little bit more because people are coming in and they don't know what I'm... Okay, let's talk about something else first. Let's start with some breathing exercises to absorb good vibes, good energy. All right, so let's relax. And very slowly, what you breathe in, you will breathe into every cell of your body. You will hold it afterwards when I say hold, and you will feel it going to every cell, even your hair, everywhere, your teeth. So let's breathe in peace. Hold and exhale. Yes. We breathe in through the nose and the abdomen. Love. Hold. And we exhale. Irritability. Let's breathe in prosperity. Hold. And we exhale poverty consciousness. Hold. Okay, so let us move to our small workshop. Our workshop today is about finding our life path number. If you know your life path number, it's easier. You just add all your birth date numbers to a single digit. And hello, Marie-Lise, and Ricardo, hi, Dora, I see who is here. Marcella, hi, Marina, hi, and Belen, hi. Okay, we are going to record and people are going to have this in recording, and whoever is not entered yet will see it later in that. You will always be receiving notifications and getting this in your Facebook notifications so you can have it and see it whenever you want. So let's do the addition of our birth date numbers from we come up with a single digit number. Now if that single digit number is an 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, etc., which is difficult. 666 is up to 33 usually. Your life path, if it is up to that number, it is a master number. You keep that number. And I will tell you what it means, but I will also tell you what the master number means and what the single digit number. For example, if it is a 22, it is also a 4. So you will listen to the 4 explanation, but you will also listen to the 22. So if it is another, and there are 3 karmic numbers you have to watch out for. This is not bad. It's good to have karmic numbers. Evolved souls have to work out some karma, and we have the solution for these numbers here. We're the problem solvers. We're not here to put fear in you. So 13, 16, and 19 are 3 karmic numbers, and I will tell you what these mean. So if you have done this already, you add every digit of your day, month, and year in sequence. There are 2 ways to add them up. One is to add 1 plus 0 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6, etc. The other is to add up the birth date, the birth day, and the birth month to get a number. And then you add the year and you get another number and you add them. Sometimes it produces a master number or a different number in any case. So add it whichever way you want. And I will tell you what they mean. You will have the recording, and if it is a master number and you don't hear it now, you can always go to the group and find out what it means later. All right. So if your life path number is a 1, 1, they say that 1 is the innovator, the one who makes beginnings, the one who dares, the one who acts. Of course, 1 is all that. 1 is a leader, okay? But there is a more esoteric aspect to 1. 1 is the number of Apollo, of the light, of unity. 1 is the undivided number. It symbolizes unity. It's a very high number, and it is symbolized also by flame. Number 1 has a life that is very, very more adventurous than a normal person, or more powerful. There is more energy coming into a 1, more rajasic, more powerful energy. But the number 1 has to maintain that spirituality, has to maintain some level of purity and love, because number 1 tends to be wanting to do everything by themselves, and they do not like to delegate to others. Delegation to others means that if you're, for example, because usually number 1s like to be business owners, they're not good secretaries usually. They prefer to do something on their own. They're entrepreneurs, and a number 1 will, for example, they will make a logo, they will make the packaging, they will make everything, and they will want to have the last word. But not only the last word, they will want to design everything. They will want to do everything. That is not good. Number 1 has to choose the right people and delegate work to them and say, you're the best graphics designer. You make me an amazing logo that is going to represent this, this, and that. And I like those colors. And you let the other person create. Because number 1s they can become even tyrannical. They don't do it on purpose. They're perfectionists. And perfectionism means you never are satisfied with yourself. When you're a perfectionist, I used to say, I'm a perfectionist. I was so proud until I found out that perfectionism means you never finish anything. You never allow yourself to make a mistake. You never say, that's good enough. Okay, let's put it out to the world. I don't need to keep this forever, working on it forever. So number 1 is like that. Number 1 usually has this challenge in life. The challenge of number 1 is they will have to face some injustice, and when injustice comes, this is like their test in life. So when injustice happens, they have to make their move, however they leave a business, a company, a group, a family, not a family, a marriage, whatever. They leave, but they do not destroy. If you do not destroy, everything will be smoothly. That's the test for number one. Not to destroy what they leave from, not to break everything as they depart, to be cooperative and to learn to cooperate with others. That's their task in life, like to become a little bit more like number two. So if they don't break everything, they're going to have an amazing upgrading, then they can become like the number 11, the very, very elevated soul 11. But if they do break things, then they will have to face a little bit of karmic consequences until they learn the lesson and everything again is fine. So let's talk about number two. Number two is almost the opposite. It's a very, very helpful, considerate, loving, kind, peaceful, feminine, a bit, passive and accepting, uh, you know, feminine number. Doesn't matter if you're a man and you're number two, that's wonderful. It means you have your feminine aspect more evolved, which is a good thing. It doesn't mean necessarily that you are not manly. Number two relates to gold. Number two is very sensitive to odors, to smells. Is a number that is very refined, because to become a world server and to like to serve others is a sign of culture, a sign of civilization, a sign of involved soul. Number one is more harsh than number two. So number two, of course, there are number ones that are amazing leaders and they are very evolved. But usually a number two is someone who has, managed to develop love and is a very good life partner, a very good partner in business. They're very loyal, they're very kind, they're wonderful. They're, perhaps in previous incarnations, numbers two have had classical music training. And they materialize, they make money, they can materialize into gold, everything. Gold is their material, gold is their matter, whereas in number one is the flame, it's more abstract. So number two, they have the following test. Number two must learn not to be too submissive. Number two, when they become too submissive, what happens is that they do not know sometimes when to speak up at the right time, and they become submissive, and then because they don't speak up at the right time, they become a little bit, they feel that they're being used, and they feel bitterness, and with that particular person it may become hatred, and then they don't know how to express themselves, and they hold this in, and they may even become cunning and hateful and sly, lying, etc., because they don't express, right? You understand? So every number has a balance. You see, number one is too forceful. They have to learn not to be too much. They have to find balance and harmony within their negatives and positives mainly. So the same with number two. Now, number three is a number of divine light, of intelligence, of exuberance, of expression, charm, joy. Is a very happy number. The purpose of number three, as the purpose of number two, for example, number two can become an excellent pranic healer, energy healer, excellent assistant. If you want an assistant, number two is perfect. It's very good to know what the other person's life path is. If you have a business, for example, and you employ someone to be your secretary, has a number one life path, and her destiny is a number 8. And now she's growing up, she's becoming a number 8. And her personality is number 1. Forget, she's not your secretary, she's your boss. She's going to really annoy you. So, I mean, really, it really is like that. I have seen so many people, hundreds, thousands of people. I don't know how many people, if there are hundreds or thousands, but it's true. In my program, I have this proof that numerology is true. There are mind-blowing mathematical proofs that prove that numerology and arithmosophy and esoteric arithmosophy, what I have brought to the world, are accurate, right? So these are the characteristics of the numbers. This is what these numbers mean. So number 3 is the divine light number. It's exuberant, charming, everything. So its downside is to be too loud, right? It's very, it's the life of the party, number 3. But sometimes it becomes too loud, because sometimes if it gets out of tune, out of alignment with the soul, then it may be, too loud. It's just being itself at the wrong moment, at the wrong time. It's not in tune with the surroundings. It is the Horus, God Horus of Egypt number. And, people with number 3 often smell of roses. They smell of roses. It's a very high number 3. It's a very beautiful number. Also, they have had musical training in past incarnations. They connect, they relate to the angels, to the angelic kingdom. Now, number 3's purpose is to show others the divinity in them and in everything that exists. And number 3 is created to be a spiritual, or it doesn't have to be a spiritual teacher. It can be someone who is doing documentaries showing that all life is beautiful, that marine life is sacred, or is beautiful, or meaningful, or that animals can feel, or that plants can feel. But there are people who are inspiring. They want to inspire others. So their purpose has to relate to that. They can be performers, musicians, actors. They are, the whole thing. Writers, they're very good writers. Number 3s are excellent authors. If they write a book trying to inspire others, they will succeed. Now, number 4 is the hard-working, reliable, loyal, is the perfect husband, perfect wife. Number 2, number 4. Of course, not for number 5, not for number 7. Not every number matches very well, but that is another topic. But, number 4 is someone who works a lot. Now, you can tell me, I don't want to be number 4. I don't want to work all my life. Well, if you were to do exactly what your heart desires, right? What you're born to do, you would want to work all your life. What is the stage where you would say, if you were loving your work, like I love my work, I could do this all day, half the day I could teach. So if you are like, you can see that, right? I talk a lot. So if you love your work, at which stage do you want to say, okay, now I'm just going to eat, go out, see friends, take walks, watch films, and do nothing? I mean, it's really boring compared to having some, an audience, people to give and to share with. 4s are excellent doctors. Perhaps if you're a doctor and you're a 4, then you're saving lives. You don't want to retire. Retirement, most people when they retire, they're like, you see how they fall, how they drop, because they don't have a purpose anymore. So number 4 is hardworking, but that doesn't mean anything. They're the fuel, they are the pillar of the family. And they're very reliable and very loyal. They're the loyal husbands, and that's wonderful. They always manage to have property. They need to have land and property, and land also, not just an apartment. They want to have land, they have to, their task, their test, is that they have to work with their higher aspect, with their higher soul. Um, because if they don't, they're going to be, if they don't, they may start ignoring their coworkers and looking down on others, and that is going to make them, their creations will crumble. Number 4 is made to succeed big time, to have great academic success. They're great doctors, as I said earlier. They are good with property, so they can be good real estate. Although number 4 likes to work in a every day, like with a program, with a schedule. They don't like to have these kind of free professions, and they love the occult. They love to study. They love mysteries. They're really advanced souls. They need to, they don't believe anything unless it goes through their intellect. They're intellectuals. Everything has to go through the mind first in order for them to believe. So if you're number 4 and you don't believe in arithmosophy, I'm going to prove to you that arithmosophy is accurate. So one measure for them, one way for them to see that they are out of tune, and they're not in a good state spiritually, that they're not well with their higher soul, is their voice. When their voice is usually very soft, very, very sweet, number 4's voice. But when their voice is harsh, and it becomes sometimes out of tune, harsh, then this is a sign that they're not their higher self, So let's go to number 5 now. Now number 5, will you excuse me for one moment? Just a second, I have to do something. Sorry, I had forgotten to charge my laptop. And I just saw this red low battery coming up. Okay. So number 5 is the number of love and marriage. Okay, it is they have been a number 4 according to Pythagoras. We go from number to number, from incarnation to incarnation. So in the previous incarnation, if you're a number 5, you were a number 4. So you were number 4. You worked hard. You were you got academic honors, and then you become a number 5, and you just enjoy the happy life of a child, the traveling, adventurous, changing, loving, full of love and love affairs, and sometimes they even marry twice, number 5s. Because they make mistakes, they have to, because the purpose of number 5 is to collect life experience. But in what number 5 has to do is to transmute that experience as it grows older, and to learn how to take responsibility for her or his actions. So that is their main spiritual and higher purpose that derives from this number. So they are the love and marriage, the travel, adaptability, etc. They're the number of intelligence as well. 55, the master number 55 is the number of directed intelligence. So they are very telepathic. Number 5 is the middle number between 1 and 9, and it is the number of love, right? So it is the middle, Christ. It's symbolized by Christ. It's a Christ number, and its symbol is a 5-pointed star. Its word is the word yes. I'm a number 5, that's why I'm saying it so happily. So it is charming, adaptable, etc. It is telepathic, and what happens is number 5, they are very spiritual, and as they're spiritual, but sometimes as they're dedicated to something, not to spiritual things, but to some person, some task, some project, something happens, and they're attracted to change that, to change and to go in another direction. If they do not accept the experience, the soul doesn't learn. In order to get the lesson, they have to make that mistake, even if it's a mistake. Because, of course, constancy is more fruitful, right? If you're constant, then you produce results. But number 5 likes to change. So they just have to learn. Their life task and their test is to learn to accept responsibility for their actions. That's all. So number 6. So number 6 is another. Now, this is a good example, right? I told you I'm a number 5. That's my life path. And number 6 is my maturity number. And I am mature. I'm 58 years old. So number 6 is who I am becoming for in the past 18 years. So listen to the immense change that a human being can. Of course, you always have the purpose of a number 5, right? To accept responsibility for your actions is your main objective in life, to learn from your lessons. But the number 6 becomes nurturing, becomes homey. Number 5 may change 23. I have a friend too. She has changed 32 homes. I have changed 23. Another one of my students, he said, I've said to him, you may have changed many homes. He said, yeah. I don't know how many he said, 15, 20. Everyone who's a number 5 has made a lot of changes, countries, cities, homes, you name it, they change. So number 6 is the creator number. You become creator at your own terms, at your own time. You cannot have a schedule. No one can tell you when to do anything. You don't like routine. You need to be free to do whatever you want. But you can accomplish in a number 6 life path, right? Whatever you cannot accomplish in any other incarnation, because you are inspired, you are creative. And number 6 loves to work at home. That's why these many artists, are number 6. Number 6 is very intuitive. Now, they're very psychic in the sense that they know what is coming. Let me give you an example, all right? Since I have developed number 6, I have this experience personally, because it's different to read about something and very different when you experience it, right? So every time I go out, smoke with my friends, before COVID, I used to invoke in the car to the Supreme Being, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the angels, etc. Thank you for an amazing evening with my friends. Thank you for blessing our evening with love, with friendship, with happiness, with joy. So one day, I was doing this because I love to do this. I love to think positively and bring positive results in my life. So one day, as I was doing this one evening, I was driving, I was made up, I was beautiful, looking, everything was very, well, that's a bit vain what I say, but it's true, I looked very good that night. And I was driving, and suddenly I finished my invocation, and it was like the energy dropped. I was like, what happened just now? What just happened? There was, flat energy, no wind under my, wings. And I thought that this was caused by my own lack of self-confidence, or I thought it was a moment of lack of self-confidence. I thought it was a moment of lack of faith in the beautiful evening I was going to have. No, this is not true. What happened was that I went to that evening with friends, etc., and there was this moment when suddenly someone said something, and there was a misunderstanding, and then there was this massive turn of 2 or 3 friends against me. I was attacked, really attacked. Of course, I was not attacked physically. I was attacked verbally and politely, but it was a very harsh evening, for me it was very painful, because a couple of friends that, especially one whom I loved so much, he attacked me. So I was like, okay. So number 6 will feel when something is coming. Everything comes from above. All our tests come from above. We have angels. We have guiding angels. We have guardian angels. We have angels of love. And we have those angels, and we can ask them for whatever we want at all times. And everything is they create amazing stories from above. And we are like puppets. But we're not puppets. It's great, We can always be aware and know that if a number 6 feels, senses with this amazing intuition of number 6, that something is going to go wrong, they just have to be prepared, poised, and expect something to happen, but detachedly, and then react as best as possible under the circumstances. And when they do that, they learn that it's not their own problem. There's nothing wrong with them if they fall flat, if the wind comes out of their wings. It is their premonition, it's their instinct, their intuition that does that. Okay? So that is number 6. It's a very, very psychic. So number 7 now. Number 7 is the number of Athena. It's like a Sunday. It's more formal, it's more poised, more graceful. Number 7 is the number of studiousness and spirituality. Okay? And number 7, has to have. I will go a bit faster through the numbers because I think I went very slowly, and I took a lot of time. I also want us to do our little meditation. So number 7 is more aloof than other numbers, and they have to learn not to be so isolated. Sometimes they marry late in life because they look down on others in a way. Not down on others, but they don't find anyone who is at their standard. Most of the time they're right. They are more spiritual, more, they are more evolved. They're very spiritual, evolved. Pythagoras accepted in his ashram people with a life path number 7 without them undergoing the 5-year silence trial. So you can imagine. He said they are disciplined and spiritual, evolved souls. So if your life path number is 7, don't be exasperated that you don't find people like you. There aren't any. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry, it's a bad joke. No, there are some. But you have to keep your standards high, and you will find them. And you will have to learn how to see everyone with love and appreciation, and everyone has their own story. The other person may be not educated, may be poor, may look like they're, not in a good situation, but perhaps they are living through the best love story that ever lived. So you don't know who the other person is. You don't know what sacrifices they may be doing. I mean, everyone is amazing and unique. So number 7 has to, get off their high horse, and at the same time not lower their standards, and trust that the universe will send them their life partner, the right one for them. They must not compromise. So, but usually it comes a bit later in life, not very young. Number 7 will undergo certain mental tests. They will have mental tests because this is a high level of attainment, and people with a number 7 will have challenges on the mental plane, will have to overcome negative or dark thoughts sometimes, etc., etc. But if you are 7, know that this is normal, and this is an honor for you, because you don't have to overcome beating your children. You're higher than that, right? So there are people who have to overcome that, right? There are levels of growth and evolution in the world. So number 7, the test for number 7, in order to regulate its aloofness and its isolationism, is sometimes it may have to servile work, and menial work. But if it just does it with grace, the circumstances change and the test is withdrawn. So know that. If you're in a bad situation, it's going to go. The moment you accept it and you do it gracefully, it's going to go away. So now number 8, 9, 11, and 22 are numbers of people who will be found by master. Many pranic healers have this number. Number 8 is a number of strong character. He's a true leader. You know, he numbers 8 likes freedom. Number 8 knows exactly what to do in a crisis. They have great intuition. They are connected to the Buddhic plane, to the iridescent aura, to the Buddha Padmasambhava also, to the sunflower, to the opal, right? So, you know, again, they may change their name also. You know, they relate to freedom a lot, and they're good builders. They can be amazing contractors, you know, builders. They like to build. So if you have a child, for example, and your child loves to play with building blocks and little tractors and nothing else, and he's a number 8, don't say, oh, my child is uninspired. One of my children is a genius, and the other one is like having tractors and putting, because this child with the tractors, you know, may be the one who will, you know, change the world in big time, because number 8s produce amazing results. They create methods to save humanity, to serve humanity, you know. They provide for the world. So number 8 is a very big number, and they're very, very intuitive as well. But number 8 sometimes, you know, their low aspect is when they are like, you tell them that, oh, what you just said was a bit aggressive, you know, or it was unintentionally perhaps, but what you said was a bit, you know, offensive. And they say, me? No, no, I never meant that. They don't want to look into their own motives. They like psychology. So if they would read a bit of philosophy, etc., and expand their mind and not be so forceful and like blunt, you know, that would help them a lot. But they're very good leaders. In a crisis, they know exactly what they need and what everyone needs, and they act impeccably. So there again, their challenge is to work with a higher self, you know, because they're selfless. They like to work for the race, you know, not for payment, but they do make a lot of money. Number 8 is a number of success. So if they work with their higher self, producing good, they go very well. If they start working with the lower self, being greedy and, you know, the lower self weaknesses, then what happens is they start being afraid and start to worry and start being afraid of poverty all the time, you know. They start being misers, and they you know, they don't have pleasure in life anymore. You know, this is their test. They have to work with a higher self. If they work with a higher self, even if you're an 8 and you're afraid you will be poor all the time, you're afraid of poverty, just go, you know, do something spiritual, do something good for humanity, be giving to charity, you know, do something uplifting, take spiritual courses, you know. That is going to help all the aspects of your life. So now we arrive all at the almost last number, which is number 9. Number 9 is the last number of the single digit numbers, of the digits. So number 9 is the number of the artist. It's the number of the artist, the lover. They have so much love in their heart that their home is always protected just by the love. Okay, let me just ask you something. Do you remember when you have, well, before COVID mainly, when you had guests at home, you know, and you would be, for example, cooking. I don't know if you do your own cooking, but if you're cooking and you're preparing an amazing meal and you have set the table and everything is, you know, you have music, and you know, you have samba or something, you know, joyful playing, and you light the candles and you're dancing, mixing the salad and having a little wine and waiting for your guests to arrive, and everything is golden. Is there a chance anybody's going to come in and rob you at that moment? Not in a billion years, you know. It's not going to happen. or when we shrink and we are afraid, that's when bad things can happen, you know. And of course, thank God we have our angels who protect us. We really do. And I'm clairvoyant, you know. Every time I ask for Archangel Michael to assign angels to protect me at night, I see sometimes these lights light up, you know, spheres of light around. So I know it works. It's true. So just ask your angels for protection. But in any case, you know, have the love of the number 9 is expanding, and it's protecting the home and the neighborhood, you know. It's really, really loving. They're lovers. They have to be careful not to overdo it with love, you know, not to fall into, um, you know, they're very good and loyal lovers usually, but sometimes, you know, they may be carried away and they may be tempted in that aspect, you know, to fall in love. They may fall for love. So they have to be just a bit careful. So they're usually burdened because they're the ones taking care of everyone. They're the ones who will help everyone who needs help. So they become burdened, and that makes them angry. Their problem is anger. They think no one understands them because they have to do everything, etc. This is what my program does to people. You don't have to be burdened and angry at others. You were the one who volunteered to take this burden up on yourselves. So what you have to do is unclutter your life, unclutter it from all. Don't take too much up, you know. You cannot save everyone, right? When you start saving, no, I don't want to put it this way, when you start saving less people. No. When you start saving yourself, then less burden will come to you from the universe. The universe sends you whatever you send out. Are you sending out, I'm the savior, come to me, I'm going to house you all and feed you all? Then believe me, many will come. But if you're like, okay, I can help that much, I will take this day for myself, I will do this for myself, I need this time for myself per day, then the universe will slow down and will give this work to some other number 9 who has to learn the lesson, right? All right, so now let's move to the other numbers that are, very quickly, numbers. Let's go first to the karmic numbers, 13, 16, 19. Now 13, the unlucky 13, is not the unlucky 13. It's like just the Shiva number, the creative destruction number. It means that in your life you'll have to have major change, but every time you have a major change, even if it is someone's passing away, right? You may lose a parent or whatever. I don't want to think negatively, but it may be even that kind of change, you know. You have to think always that this is for a good reason, for the good, and that is going to take you to a better place. You have to learn that destruction is followed by creation. It's creative destruction. If you have a closet full of old clothes, you know, then at one point you have to throw them away, unless it's COVID restrictions and you cannot buy new. But in general, you have to throw away your old clothes, you know, in order to buy new ones. If you keep everything in your closet and then you go buy new clothes and then more things in your closet, more things, you know, very quickly I will tell you that one day I saw someone's closet and they had only 10 things in it. 10 things hanging perfectly, like in a store. There were 10 impeccable things, accompanied by 4 pairs of shoes underneath, and I think 2 handbags and 1 small pouch. And I was like, oh my God, I want to be like this person, right? I don't want to be like this person, but I want this kind of closet. It's wonderful to have 10 things, you know, wonderful if they're perfect. Anyway, so how did I get there? Creative destruction. I got carried. I love this closet. So you have to get rid of the old to attract the new, right? You cannot say, I am with the wrong, okay, relationships are different, but you cannot say, you cannot say I have the wrong friends. I don't like my friends, I suffer, but if I didn't have those friends, I would be lonely. No, if you suffer with people, stop seeing them. You don't have to give them an ultimatum. You don't have to tell them you don't want to see them anymore. You just find an excuse. You be gentle, loving, and then you disappear slowly. And then new people will come in your life. So number 13 is going to face a lot of creative destruction, which is their path. It's amazing. It's change. It's wonderful. It's also number 4, property, money, success, right? It's not bad. They have to learn to be all, but their main challenge is to learn how to be responsible and stop seeking shortcuts and favors. This is why they get all these changes until they learn, right? When they learn to be responsible for themselves and to not be always manipulating others to get what they want, then they will stop having these changes and they will have more stability. So it's a karmic number, but old souls are the ones who are manifesting karma, because they are old and they are eligible. It's great. We all have to we all have to solve some karma. If we act well, karma is solved beautifully. So now number 16. Number 16 is a fascinating number. It's a deeper learning even than 7, that is very studious and very intelligent. But the problem is that it's living in a constant crisis, it's thinking negatively, and its tests are 3. 1, it has to raise above pride and has to start seeing other people. It has pride. It has to treat others well. And sometimes number 16s are born in, families that are very prosperous, or in conditions that are, make them feel arrogant. So this is one of the things they have to learn. If they don't learn that, they're going to be, they will be made to learn it. Life has a way. But they also, of course, have the very studious and spiritual aspect of number 7, right? And they're very intelligent. They also have to learn to trust. Whatever happens, they have to learn to trust. That is one session by itself, trust. I would love to talk about trust another time, not now. And they have to learn to be faithful, okay? They have to be, this is one of the tests they will have to undergo. Like they will have to learn to be loyal. For example, you may be married to someone that you are suffering with. You have to learn to first leave and then love the next one, right? Okay, so that's number 16. As for trust, whatever happens, you have to trust is for the better. You have to trust. So 19 also has to learn to take into consideration the feelings of others and their opinions and to value them and to not be so arrogant. 19 is a karmic number that comes from arrogance as well and pride. And they have to stop controlling others and wanting to control because they have number 1 inside. So it's powerful. Also number 9, I forgot to tell you, is vibrating low. Number 9 has to be careful. If they say, oh, this person is so ill, I cannot imagine how they will be alive tomorrow. Don't do that. Whether you're 9 or any other number, right? We have to be careful what we say and what we think. We have to be aiding others, And you have to know that even if a person is critically ill, even a 90-year-old person can heal and change and live 10 years of amazing, wholesome life. Anyone can change. And perhaps sometimes a heavy illness is a way for them to change. So even if it doesn't seem so, we don't have the right to decide that. Also, sometimes healing can be passing away. But before they pass away, they have to let go of fear. Because if we knew what death is, we would perhaps we would all just naturally go drift upwards. I don't know. But it's something much better than we fear, right? So we cannot think negatively about others. So number 9 has to be careful. Number 19 as well. So, but the challenge of number 19 is the purpose is to stand on their own feet. Whether they're little princesses that they have been all their life being financed by their parents, or they are born to a lot of money, you have to learn to stand on your own feet, and you will never be, you will be more fulfilled, let's put it this way, if you do something on your own and you make it. And very quickly, numbers 11 psychic master, intuitive, spiritual, but needs to learn how to do things step by step because their amazing ideas are too far out and they always think no one understands them, so they have to have like a method, you know, to be a little bit more practical. But they're genius. It's a number of genius. It's the as above. From the as above, so below is the as above spiritual number. 22 is the so below, is the one that the master architect number. They bring down the inspiration and they ground it into reality. They create amazing architecture of, you know, of, it may be a foundation. Like my number is 22. I am a master architect in my cycles of life. In the cycles, we have cycles of life, and in my last cycle, from 50 until end of incarnation, I'm at 22. This is very important. And with this number, you have the forces. The forces, this shows what, you know, it shows more or less the plan for you. The cycles show the plan, you know. So it shows that the forces are there for me to have an architecture that is perhaps intellectual, spiritual. And number 33, they also may fall for money and love. Number 22 have to be very careful. But they are like double success, double two. Whatever they want to do, they can do it. All the numbers have to work with their higher aspect. If they don't, they will fail. This is a law of nature. If you don't work with the higher forces, you're going to, you know, you're working with the lower forces. So you're going to go low, right? It's simple as that. And number 33, the last number we'll talk about now, is master number, is the number of the selfless giver. All right, it's also a 6, but it is mainly a healer, someone who gives, someone who inspires, an amazing teacher, someone who works with their voice. Number 6 also works with their voice. What they do is through their voice. So these are the numbers. For now, there, of course, the master numbers are up to 99, but it's doubtful that you will have a 99 in your life path number, right? It's very difficult. So let's end this session by doing a little visualization. I don't know if we're over time, but let's do it anyway because it's going to be wonderful. And we will do this every day before we end our sessions. So let's try and do a first probing of some of you have done it before, you're my students, but let's do a probing of our life purpose. So I want you to imagine that you have succeeded in everything that you want to do. 3 years from now, you don't know what it is, your life purpose. You don't know what it is. You just are 3 years from now, which 3 years is enough for you to be totally successful in whatever you want. If you raise your vibration and maintain your vibration, you can do it completely. It's all about magnetizing success. So close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes and imagine that you are sitting in a sofa 3 years from now in your future. Just feel grateful and inhale gratitude. Exhale any discontent. And you feel, oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm 3 years. 3 years ago, I could not even imagine I would be here now. I was in a dark place compared to now, although I thought I was happy. And look now where I am. So you open your eyes slowly, and about 10 meters ahead of you, there is a window. Go to the window and open it. What do you see? What is the view outside your window? What is your ideal view? Do not let your mind control this little visualization. This is your heart. What does your heart open to? Does your heart open to a sea view? Do you see a beach, the sea from above? Do you see a beautiful garden? Do you see both a garden and the beach? If you see a garden, what trees and plants does your garden have? Do you see red rooftops? Do you see a city? What is there? What do you see? Now, see what really opens your heart. Now turn around and look at your home. What is your home like? What is the floor of your home like? Is your home big and spacious? Is it a stone home and stone old house? Is it an apartment, very contemporary? Is it minimalistic? Is it warm? What is the floor? Is it wood, stone, tile? What is your floor? Is it a beautiful new material? Look at your home. Look at your sofas. You don't have to have your old furniture. You are allowed to change everything in your imagination. When you're successful, you can do whatever you like. So, what is your sofas? What do your sofas look like? Do you have a fireplace? What does it look like? Look at your lamps, your art on your walls. Look at the windows and what style are they? Are they contemporary? Are they old? And then you see a table at the end of the wall. At the end of one wall, there is a table in front of a beautiful window. And on that beautiful table, there is your laptop closed, and there is a thick pad of white paper and a pen or pencil. So you walk to that table and you pull the chair and sit down on the chair, and you take the pen and are about to make a list. At that moment, you hear footsteps behind you. It is your life partner. Now, if you're married and happily married, you just think of your life partner, of whom you're already married to. But if you're single or you're not happy with your relationship, I want you to feel that this person, your life partner, embraces you, and that you feel the kind of relationship you have with him. How is your relationship with him? Is it passionate? Do you want to look at him and every time you look, you just want to make love? Is it the kind of relationship where you have, amazing silent communication? You look at each other's eyes and you're just two ancient souls together, found at last. Do you love to do silent road trips together? Is it the kind of person with whom you have a lot of fun, with whom you have a lot of, laughter together? What kind of relationship do you have? Do you feel safe, taken care of? How do you feel? Do you feel secure and safe and loved? And is this person loyal? I just want you to feel the feeling that you want to have from someone. Is it someone with whom you can discuss things and there is total communication and understanding? So now this person gives you an envelope and says, have we packed? Are we ready? Here are the tickets. So you say, yes, we are ready. You're going on a trip. So open the envelope and look at the tickets. What are these tickets? Are you going to Hawaii? Are you going to Paris? Forget about COVID, it's over. Everything is better than normal. Not new normal, it's the new super duper normal. Are you going to New York? Are you going to Japan? Are you going to South Africa, Egypt, Morocco? Where do you want to go? To Ireland, Scotland. Are you going on a road trip? Are these tickets for some ferry boat, for a boat? Are these train tickets? You have to imagine what your heart desires the most. what your heart opens with. That's what your heart desires, yes. So at that moment, you say, yes, we're going there. We can live for as long as we like, and we're going. It can be 10 days, a month, it can be a year around the world tour. You can just do whatever you want. You're free. But before you go, your companion says, your life partner says, I'm going to make breakfast. Are you coming? You say, yes, yes, I'm coming in a moment. Because he or she is also an amazing cook, perhaps, or makes great breakfast because they love you so much. So that's when you say, okay, let me just make a list. And you make a list of a few things you want to leave behind to an assistant, an associate, to yourself, just a few notes, what to do list. And this is what you're going to leave behind, because this is relating to your work, to what you do that opens your heart. What is it that opens your heart? Have you created your own business? What do you like? Do you like flowers? Have you gone into business cultivating pink roses? Are you finally writing a book? Are you an author? What is it that you're doing that is fulfilling you so much that you are leaving these notes to your associate, to your assistant? You're so successful already. So successful, because when we find our purpose, we magnetize it and everything falls into place. So think of what it is and write down a list. And then you close your eyes and you say inwardly, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful. I'm so happy. I'm going on an amazing trip with my beloved, and I have the home of my dreams. I have the view of my dreams. I have the work of my dreams. I have the life of my dreams. I'm so grateful, so grateful. Now, before you open your eyes, keep that feeling in your heart, touch your heart, and put that feeling inside. Keep it there. Keep it there and say, I'm grateful. And bring this feeling here to the now, so that you can keep living with that feeling in your heart. So now open your eyes slowly. So I hope you enjoyed that little visualization. Oops, see, time to go. The thing is, we have to realize we can do this every day. When we have positive thoughts, they destroy negative thoughts. If you do this every day, then your life will change and it will become as you dreamed it. If you dream the same thing every day, then this is going to happen in 3 years. But the thing is, it may change. Tomorrow you may do the same and say, no, I don't want a sea view. I want have a garden with rose bushes. So you have to find it, and then you visualize it every day, and you live the life of your dreams until it manifests. So thank you. We're 10 minutes over time, or more, 19 minutes over time. So thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow we're going to talk about a totally different topic. We're going to talk about relationships, love, and how to fix love relationships, and how to fix a relationship that isn't working, and how to attract a love partner of our dreams, how to attract our ideal, compatible life partner. So thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.